This is a film about 5 lessons learned while living in an RV. Open roads and cool vistas can quickly attract people to the RV life. And one thing that never gets old is all of the new places you get to see. But is there anything else gained from traveling all the time? Is it all just a superficial race to see and experience more than the other person? After 3 months of full-time living, we can already tell there are things that can be learned from living in an RV that can be applied to life itself. There isn't much that can't go wrong when you live in a 36-foot house on wheels, which is why it's the perfect teacher on how to be prepared, or at least try to be prepared. This lesson really comes in handy on travel days, where taking a little extra caution goes a long way. From planning your route in advance to packing up the rig, it feels like your lists will have lists even before you hit the road. And in life, it's the same way. You have to be prepared at your job, with your finances and budgeting, but most importantly, your goals in life. There are a lot of ways and methods of teaching preparedness, and they all cross roads on one thing: planning ahead. The main benefit of living on the road is being able to call anywhere you choose, or more realistically, anywhere you get a spot for, home for a little while. The side effect is having a ton to plan for, and you can't become attached to any grocery store, which I mistakenly did down in Texas. Thanks, Heb. Also, you are always planning the next 2 to 3 months of your route and always keeping an eye on your truck, camper, tires, undercarriage, just to make sure everything is working properly. Though I still have a ways to go with understanding the whole battery and electrical situation, and the success or how much enjoyment you get out of living on the road has seemingly come from how prepared you are for anything that comes your way. Change is inevitable. Change is also the most beautiful part of the RV life. As kids, we welcome change with open arms, whether that was making new friends or trying new foods, or even when we moved homes and had to start over again. As we grow older, we slowly resist change as it's simply easier to keep everything as is. The last 5 years since college, I have felt myself give way to the normal adulting schedule. Wake up, go to work, lunch, finish up for the day, work out, relax, and sleep. Though my hobbies included going out to the mountains and shooting landscape photography on the weekends, I continually found less and less time over the years for it, and instead chose to relax more and catch up on rest. Fast forward to today, and we deal with change as much as we did when we were kids, exploring different national parks that happened to be in our backyard at the time. And this situation isn't unique to us, by the way. Millions of RVers are out there doing the same thing. Getting used to change is refreshing, but it's a challenge too. It's like pausing my workout routine for years and then having the itch to start again. At first, it's gonna hurt, and finding the time for a regular schedule is gonna be tough, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad, and it has many rewards. Even some of our favorite life quotes as humans stem from accepting change. Just take the "all things change with time," or "be the change you wish to see in the world," or even the old faithful "if you can't change it, change your attitude" quotes from any positive mindset page, and you will see that change is something that inspires and motivates us to do more with this limited time of life that we have. For a second, think about all the things in life you wish you could do over, and how much slower and more relaxed would you do them if you had a second chance. Taking your time has become the theme for some full-time RVers out there on the road, spending some time in one spot before moving on to the next. Van lifers and RVers sometimes set out on a mission to see the world in 24 hours, rushing to their favorite Instagram spots or checking out that restaurant seen on Pinterest. In life, we are quick to rush the workday, that commute home, and even the meal that we have. Everything for some reason has to be expedited. From what Jess and I have seen from more experienced RVers is that they embrace taking things slow and steady so that they get the most out of their stay and avoid the burnout of traveling too quick. Though Jess and I do not consider ourselves to be traveling at a world record pace, we still felt the need to slow down after traveling 2 weeks at a time for the first 2 months. Month 3 for us, we spent it entirely at one spot at the Paiute RV Resort, which we had some more time to explore the nearby national parks of Bryce Canyon, Zion, and then getting to see the Wave in Kanab, which is highly underrated in our opinion. One value that arguably can only be found on the road is valuing time spent with friends and family. I know for certain that folks who move far away from home and only get to see family during the holidays understand this. And while it's fun to be out seeing new places, I do from time to time think of back home and what's going on in our friends' lives. Jess FaceTimes her friends and family on a weekly basis and savors every minute of it. And there have been times this year where we know we'd love to have company on that hike, or the time we saw that for the first time, or just having them present and experiencing things for the first time along with us. Some say the RV life and the van life is a lonely road, spending months at a time away from those who matter most to you. For us, it just makes it even more special when you get to see them again, and it gives everyone something to look forward to, meeting up after a long road trip. You know, I think this whole video could have been said in less words and mumbling them from my end, but I wanted to share a bit about why these 5 lessons are so special. It's one thing when someone tells you some cliche life quote, but it's a completely other when you can learn it through experience. In our case, it's the experience of traveling. Not so necessarily just because we decided to live in an RV. Jess and I consider ourselves travelers who happen to live in an RV instead of RVers who happen to travel. The cool thing about any lifestyle you choose for yourself is that these lessons are bound to show themselves either subtly or more pronounced. All you have to do is keep an open mind and a thoughtful presence. This is the life we chose, and we hope to see you in the next adventure.
Things that we can treasure take us to the moon.